The mom in this movie, first off, is basically just a glorified extra. She barely does anything. The dad has way more lines. Not that he's some big character, but he has way more lines. They also kind of gloss over this very weird fact. I get it. They're both technically kids, but um, the main character's love interest of the movie is a senior, and he is a freshman, and the parents are completely okay with it. And they even end up dating their boyfriend and girlfriend in the movie. There's also a later line that says they made out, but that never happened on screen. It says, "Oh my god, I made out with an old lady." Because there's this big twist that she's actually this girl from the past, so she's actually really old or something, which I will explain that later. It's actually not as weird as what most age things do in media, like superhero media, vampire media, stuff like that. So, yeah, there's also a girl that's basically just a poison ivy knockoff that uses her powers in two scenes. She uses it to get an apple and to beat up this girl. And that is it. And she's also the like love interest of the main character or whatever. So that's a thing. The bus driver also gets mad at the kid for talking about Sky High when he gets on the bus because that might expose the secret or whatever. But then immediately flies the bus in the open because it's a flying bus, kind of like the Magic School Bus. It just flies to Sky High, which I do wonder if like is it in space or something? How do they breathe? I know it's a kids movie, but they're definitely expending a little bit logic here, even for a superhero movie, especially with a bus. Um, they also have like friends or whatever, and they give one of them like the dumbest power ever. Like all of them are supposed to be like lame powers, but they work in the end. Like there's this girl that can turn into a guinea pig, so she can go into small places. There's this guy that can glow in the dark, so he helps when they need to see when they're crawling through a vent. Um, of course, the girl with the plant powers uses them to defend herself. And then the last dude turns into like a fucking weird, badly animated like CGI puddle. So he trips people twice. And that's his power. They could not make that cool. They could not. I really don't know why they gave that to him. Anyways, the girl kisses him on the cheek, but later he says he made out with her, which pretty dumb line. He also flies in one scene, but later is surprised when he's flying. He is really excited because she kissed him on the cheek, so he flies in the air and swings around on this pole and it knocks it down, and he uses his super strength to somewhat fix it. Um, so there's that. But later in the movie, he gets thrown out of the thing, and he flies back, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe it! I can fly!" And the girl's like, "You can fly?" I also want to note that Patrick something, he does a lot of voice acting. I think he's also Joe in Family Guy, and he was the dude in Underdog and the B movie guy that gets his girlfriend taken from him. But he plays the Annihilator when she's in her suit and has her mask on. So it is a male voice. And the only reason I'm noting this is because in the movie, she is surprised that people don't realize that she's a girl villain, even though the fucking movie writers had a male actor voice her when she's in the suit. But when she's out of her mask, it's just her. And I really don't know why they got Patrick. He's not exactly the most intimidating villain. He literally plays a dumb henchman and underdog. But yeah, we find out that she got turned into a baby, so she had to go through puberty all over again. So technically, she is 17, not an adult that's actually like 30 something. So, yeah. It's definitely weird. That's something to think about. They also hired the old actor for Wonder Woman, not Gal Gadot, or however you say her name. Gal Gadot? I don't know. I don't like her. She doesn't do very good as Wonder Woman, and she supports Israel. Anyways, they have the old version of Wonder Woman up here, basically only for a line near the end of the movie. She has one line. She has two scenes, is what I meant. She puts the boys in detention when it was clearly the other dude that was doing something. Another kid was clearly defending himself. He uses a fire extinguisher to put out a dude that's power is fire. And he's decently famous because he's like one of the rare kids to have a superhero dad, a superhero mom, and a super villain dad. And his dad is in jail. So obviously she would know that. And that he probably started the fight, and the fact that his dad put his dad in jail. So she walks in and sees him using a fire extinguisher on him, so he's in trouble now. She just won't listen to him. They also have this thing where he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not my dad. You're not your dad. Why do we have problems with each other? We shouldn't." Yet later in the movie, he's like, "How could you go out with him? He's my enemy. What the fuck happened to you not having a problem with him?" And he was also trying to be friendly to him, like 10 minutes before that. Like, they have, like, this save the civilian game, and he and him work together to save the civilian, and he helps him up, and he offers his hand to, like, give him a handshake or whatever, but he doesn't do it, and he's kind of shocked that he doesn't give him a handshake. But they don't really have beef. He doesn't really have a problem with them, but they insist on throwing in a random scene of him saying he's his enemy. It's kind of cringy, because it just doesn't fit what the character has been portraying himself as him not having that guy as an enemy. But they needed that scene, I guess. Same with him literally flying in the movie, but later being surprised when he flies. Does not make sense. And then the thing that makes the least amount of sense is his friend, his later girlfriend, Gwen Grayson. She's listed as the main character. That's pretty cool for her. Gwen Grayson shows up to a party, and she immediately gets kicked out by his girlfriend. And, because he's avoiding her and is embarrassed of her or whatever. So, she's gonna leave. But she's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, to be honest, he's just avoiding you." And she's referring to the party. But she just got there. How is he avoiding someone that just got there? And then when he shows up, he says hi, and he smiles at her, and he's clearly happy to see her. And she doesn't realize that the girlfriend is clearly fucking with her. I really don't get what's going on. That was the dumbest scene in the movie. But did I like it? It was okay. It was really dumb at times, kind of corny. They also have like 2 sexual assault things, kinda. Well, the first one definitely is. But I'm not so sure about the other one. It definitely feels like it, where this asshole kid slaps this girl's ass, so she freezes him, and that is one of the beginning scenes in the movie, pretty early on. And it's to like show the fact that the Sky High characters use their powers or something. Very weird way to show it. And then there's this one dude that shapeshifts into the coach, so the coach slaps his ass. and he doesn't look exactly comfortable with it. That was very odd. Did I mention the coach is played by fucking Bruce Campbell? They got him into this shitty movie somehow. I mean, it's an okay movie. It's entertaining, but you gotta admit it's pretty stupid. And yeah, that's really about it.